The last
I talk a lot with my hands.
It's okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Put my nice ring.
pretty nails.
Yeah. And I was coming here.
Yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Maureen. Welcome to Why Do We Do It? Cast Introspect edition.
Yes. My name is Kaimuri.
And I'm DoWeDoIt.
Alright, so first question for you to discuss, answer, etc. is, what do you understand by the term emotional labor?
Yeah, no. I read a cartoon about it. So emotional labor is the labor like when you're in a relationship at home and you have to manage at home. The part where the woman does everything, she plans everything, and then the man just waits for her to tell him to do things. So in that cartoon I saw, it was the woman, she asked the guy to take the dishes out of the washing machine. And he just took the dishes, but when she went, she saw there was something on the floor, she saw she was just used to work, so she did everything on her way. But him, in his head, it was just to take the dishes. So it's all the preparation, all the labor, all the things that are not physical that you do, that your partner doesn't do, and doesn't know that you're doing because he thinks that he's here to help you, not to help you prepare everything. So that's my understanding of emotional labor.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking. Weirdly enough. Plus also, I guess not just in relationships, but also in just other types of relationships, like friendships and work relationships. You feel obliged to do certain things or act a certain way. I don't know why, but you just feel obliged to. So I guess to me that's what emotional labor is.
Obliged to do things like what?
I don't know. Like for me, I just feel like I like to see people happy. So I feel like I have to do certain things or act a certain way or do whatever. I don't know why, but that's just me. So it's kind of a lot to take on because it's a lot to take on people's happiness.
When I thought about emotional labor, I thought about carrying a relationship. Like, why do I have to be the one who always starts the difficult conversations? You're just going to sit and keep quiet. But there's something bothering us, so let's have a conversation about it. So emotional labor for me is, well, in terms of a person, is the person who's sort of carrying the relationship, who always initiates the difficult conversations or the happy conversations or the serious conversations. Like, you're always the one who's initiating things for stuff to progress. Otherwise, you're just going to plateau and stay at the same level. So, emotional labor is the work that goes into sustaining relationships and friendships, romantic relationships, friendships, person-to-person interaction.
Yeah. So in your experiences, all three of you, in relationships, do you feel like you guys do a lot of the emotional labor, or have you been in relationships where it's even, or have you been in relationships or friendships where there's also someone doing more than you're doing?
Me, I don't give more than I take. So with my friends, I think it's women are brought up to care for each other. So with the girlfriends, we always take care of each other, like how we doing, But with men, I heard, because I don't have many male friends, it's a little bit more complicated because they're not brought up to express their feeling or to care about other people's feelings. So you can be here, have a male friend and talk to him about your problems, and he'd be like, okay. But when it's his time to talk, he expects you to be here to be his counselor or something like that. But me, because I've heard about it before meeting people like that, I know what it looks like and I don't do it. Yeah, but with my female friends, we don't have this problem.
I think for me, it's in relationships. I feel like I've had to be the one. I know I've pulled some dumb shit, but I feel like I've been the one who initiates the difficult conversations, or when I'm uncomfortable, I generally want to talk about it and want to point it out, because I feel like I don't do well with grudges, so let's have a conversation and see the way forward, because I don't see how I'm going to. Also, I don't have much relationship experience. So in the few that I have been, for the short periods of time that there have been, I feel like I've been the one, but I have such great friends. So with my friendships, my girlfriends, even my guy friends, I can maybe count one or two who I don't talk to on that level. But even my guy friends, we generally have we talk about it, point issues out. If someone has a problem with me, they'll be like, hey, by the way, we need to have a conversation. And I'm like, in fact, I got a phone call yesterday that was like, Camry, in fact, I'm going to look for you next week. I need to talk to you about some shit. And I'm like, and I know what shit I'm going to be talked to about. So I'm ready for it. But I like the fact that and it's a guy, it's my guy friend, and he was like, yeah, we need to talk about it so that we can, like, friends, then we just move on and continue being friends. And so I feel like even my girlfriends, and I think we've cultivated a habit where we generally talk to each other on an even level. If something's bothering me, I'm going to talk to you about it. If I'm happy, I'm going to talk to you about it. Like, we're just going to talk about it with my friendships, relationships. Most of the guys know. You have to sort of like squeeze it out of them and finesse it, and I'm just like, finesse it. I'm like, why am I finessing a conversation that needs to be had? Why are you so lazy? Why are you so much work? Why the
so much work?
So much work.
Date.
Atidio, it's not laziness, it's what?
I don't even know what it is. I think it's them just refusing to accept that there's a problem or to confront it, basically. Just avoiding.
Do you always have to start it?
Yeah.
Always.
In relationships, yeah.
And friendships?
I just avoid until it's like inevitable, and then now I'm just like, no, we have to do it. So you stop looking at me. It's true. Because I don't like confrontations and I don't like dealing with, I just don't like problems at all. So if I can avoid it, I'll avoid it. But then it will get to a point where the tension is so much, I'm just like, I don't like it anymore. So it's either we fix it or we let it go. If I'm with you all the time, or rather spending a lot of time with you, and where you can sense a problem, it's gonna bother me, and I can't sit like that. So that's why I'll just bring it up.
Okay. Okay. Emotional labor.
Definition?
Yeah, your definition.
My definition, and what what she said, and using the example for the dishes, like telling the other person to remove the dishes from the washer, and then that's literally all they do, remove the dishes from the washer, and there's all these other things on the way. There's the plate that's dirty as you walk into the kitchen, not picking it up on your way. But I'm just like, but why do you have to be told to begin with? I think, like, for me, I like 50-50ness, but then I also understand we're all different. So like, I complement the expectation of 50-50ness with trying to understand the person as well. So I think it's for me, probably it's best with friendships, in that there are friends who will reciprocate in the same way I do. I don't feel you need to be told. But then also emotional labor is, I see it two-sided. Taking on more than you can. Perhaps you should, but then also taking on more than you can. I think it will be ideal to know your limit, which is not easy, but can be done, I think. And then secondly, emotional labor for just, if someone tells you how they want to be interacted with, and then you don't do it, I think you're causing emotional labor for them. Especially if they've expressed to you how they would like to be treated, and then you don't do it. Yeah, I think. But like, I don't understand why. And when I think of emotional labor, I just think of it as men giving women more emotional labor. Not the same. I'm sure it's not like that across the whole board, but that's the stereotype. And I just like, but why do you have to be told? Why doesn't it come to you that you should pick up the dirty dishes on your way to the kitchen, And I'm sure we can bump that up to society, the way we are brought up, male and female roles, but we should be, I feel it would be we should see each other more as humans, yeah? And like, if there's work to be done, let's all do it. Let's not say this is for women, this is for men. You need, a lot of introspection is required and a lot of knowing thyself, but I was talking about stereotypically.
Okay. Tony, emotional labor.
Because if you knew yourself, right? If you understood yourself as a human being and you had the compassion to be empathetic to others, you would not you wouldn't want to put on burdens on other people,
What
like
if you
as
know
much.
yourself as a person and you know you're not empathetic?
Sorry?
Like,
What if
like
you know
that
yourself?
things. Yeah. What if you know yourself and one of your flaws is that you're not empathetic?
Yes, but I feel if you know yourself, and you're in an interaction with someone else like that, intimately on that level, you let them know that I'm not
That person.
empathetic, so that they have the expectation that you're not going to relate to them in that way. But it cannot be that I tell you this is how I want to be interacted with, and then you don't do it, and then you don't say that you weren't going to do it.
Before I heard all the explanations, my understanding of emotional labor was imbalance, where one person is giving too much to a situation and the other person is not trying to meet them halfway or reciprocating. Now that she explained the whole thing with the context of like household chores, it made a lot of sense. Because especially for guys, people, if people knew why the people married them, they'd really beat the other person. Because there may know people who married people literally because they didn't want to cook.
I mean,
like if people can find a way to not be responsible for things that are in their domain, they are going to do it. And especially there's a really cool thing that I watched on Facebook yesterday that I shared with these guys on the group. It was yeah. You people never this way. I'm not going to stop saying you people shit.
look, can we just like not anyway, like
It was this preacher guy. He was talking about how men need to change, because he was giving the context of the Bible. When God created Adam, he gave him domain over the Garden of Eden, which meant everything in the Garden of Eden he was supposed to fix. So if he was supposed to wash dishes in the Garden of Eden, he was supposed to fix them. So now when he became the master of that domain, then he created Eve to help him. So whenever you get someone into your life, this is someone who's supposed to help you. This is not someone who's supposed to come and do. You're already supposed to be self-sufficient in your whole life. So which is why I feel a lot of the reasons why some of these things happen is a lot of people get into relationships when they're not okay with themselves. Like they don't know how to function on their own. There are a lot of people who have never been single. There are a lot of people who, when they sit with their own thoughts, like it's really a lot of stress to them. So I wish people could work on being better rounded people just on their own. Like you can't be a guy who lives by yourself and you don't know how to cook. How the hell are you going to survive? That doesn't make any sense.
House, right?
Yeah, you can't be this person who says that I don't clean dishes. Then what did you do when you lived by yourself? That doesn't make any sense.
Who's cleaning the dishes? Who?
Casper the Friendly Ghost. The first. Nothing should be beneath you. This thing for what I can't do this, I'm a man. Nothing should be beneath you, because if you love this person and they become incapacitated or they become sick, you'll have to do this thing. Nobody's going to wash clothes in that house because your wife is sick and you're in that house and you have 2 hands and you're able-bodied. That doesn't make any sense.
or just have a wallet.
No. There's some... Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What's the last thing that you did that you regret?
Goodness.
Just think about it, other people on the couch.
The breakfast I had today morning.
You
I
regretted
shouldn't
your
have.
breakfast.
Anyway, it was just a lot. Anywho, goodness.
what?
Regret is a strong word.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You know, in my head,
It
I
can't
thought,
be
I was like,
breakfast
is
you
it
had
a
in the
date?
morning.
What is breakfast?
No.
I was like, did you have a breakfast date?
No,
and you
I know,
didn't
that's
do
where I
that?
was.
No,
That's where my head went.
I didn't. I
Oh,
was just in the hood.
a lot of food. That's not a
Not a
regret.
lot of food. Just Anyway, point is I wasn't supposed to eat those mandazis.
Oh, you ate someone else's mandazis. That's what's
What's going on?
That I regret, I think, giving someone a second chance. I regret that a lot.
Why do you
Of
regret
that
it?
particular person, that is. Because it just proved to me that they're not worth my time. Which I refused to believe at the beginning. But then, me being me, I was just like, let me just try. Give someone a benefit of a doubt. And yeah, it just didn't work out so well. So, I think that's the only thing I can think of in the past few years that I actually regret. Yeah.
I regret ghosting.
Oh Lord.
I really had a fuck girl situation, man. And the worst thing about it is I'm so vocal about not being a fuck person
And not ghosting.
and not ghosting.
And then
For those of us who don't know what ghosting is, tell us.
what you did.
So what I did was, what happened was, I wanted to end something, and instead of just saying that I'm done, I just stopped picking up calls, stopped responding to messages.
That's so mean.
It really is.
hurts.
It hurts so much, and I've been on the receiving end of it, so I should know better. But I didn't, and I was stupid, and I know I was, and the entire time I was doing it, I was very aware that I'm pulling some dumb shit.
So why did you keep doing it?
Because I was stupid. It wasn't easier because
That's hard.
it wasn't really easier because when you think about it, the worst part about it was I'm a creature of habit, so I go to the same places generally. So I went to one of the places that I frequent.
Those ones.
And the same person I was ghosting was there, and we had a not so good confrontation and stuff, and it would have been so much easier had I just been like, hey, I'm not feeling this. So basically that's the last thing I'm looking at. Being a fat girl. Like I'm just gonna call myself out on that shit. I was a fat girl.
Maybe letting go of friendship that were worth it because I wasn't really in a good place emotionally and I didn't want to do the emotional labor of going after people, so I just let it go, and those are friends I really liked. And since I'm a very proud person, I'm not running after them. So I have regretted because in the place I was, I wouldn't have done it another way, you know. But it would have been a good thing to do it another way. I don't know if you understand. Now that I'm a little bit better, I would have done it another way. But back then, I couldn't have done it another way. So maybe, yeah, just letting go of friendship. But those people didn't come after me either. So, we just let go of each other. Maybe we will meet in the future. It's just growing. But yeah.
Do you think you would ever call them?
No, I'm waiting for them to call me. They're watching my Instagram stories all the time. I see you see me.
Now you know.
Yes.
If you didn't know
But then
before,
one of this person, she's a prostitute. She's a girl, and she's so nice that she didn't really care, and I felt even more guilty because like when I started calling her back, she was just like super nice, and I was like, oh, she's not me, she's not mad, and I felt even more guilty of letting her down. But then the thing I wanted to tell her, I couldn't tell her because it would have been a mean thing. So I waited until I wasn't, let's say, sad or depressed anymore, till I was better to go back to her. But like many people don't understand that. If you don't tell me, okay, I'm not in a good place right now, just giving you my time, I can't spend an hour on the phone hearing you complain because I have my own problems, but they take it the wrong way. So I preferred like not say anything, and then a few months later come back like a flower, say hi, do you remember me? We were friends. And this particular lady, she just took it. She's a nice person, so she was like, hey, how you doing? But I felt a little bit more guilty before she wasn't even mad, you know? Yeah.
That makes sense.
The last thing I regret actually is letting the guy who did this cut my baby hair. I actually regret that.
Okay.
He was, because I don't let no one has ever touched like the baby hair, and he said he really had a vision. But he had a vision, but I would have preferred. So I really regret letting him. So I'm really hoping it will grow back.
The baby hair is done this one.
No,
Which
over
one?
here on the sides. He nanied it on the side so that the line can come out more starkly.
But
Like,
it
okay, I
really doesn't
guess.
look like he cut it off a lot.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. It's just that because I know what it looked like before.
Ah.
I know that. Yeah. So I regret that. And it made me think about like, you know, when you know what you like, and then you try to.
Like maybe.
Should you just maintain? But you know, you need to venture out and adventure and expand your worldview and expand just growth and stuff.
Also, your nails match your top. I love it.
It was intentional, and they also match my shoes. Just in case y'all didn't know.
And you, what are you doing with your life?
Not matching.
Just wearing torn, looking like you've been accosted by a fence. Where's the rest of your jeans, fam?
I do not regret fat boyness, actually. Because it's a good lesson, Tony, I'll have you know. I don't regret it.
Yeah.
And it was not even like, it wasn't full on
But
fat
you
boyness.
have many lessons.
Why are you like this, Tony?
Full, fuck. I don't know why you're saying it wasn't full.
It was like what Kaimuri did, no?
What you were
She
ghosted?
called herself a fuck.
So yeah. And,
Are you
and
seeing
it's
this
fine.
haircut? How can you ghost this haircut?
No, it's fine because...
And this person, mostly this
This
haircut.
is why we're friends.
Tony, what do you regret that?
That I'm about to die for my stupid comments. Whew. Okay, let me start with the other one because I don't know how to freeze this one. I didn't listen to my intuition as much as I should have, especially when it comes to girls. Because whenever you're talking to someone, there's always that feeling in the beginning that I don't know if it's your mind or your body that just tells you this is not the thing to do. And sometimes you're like, maybe I'm just being, because when you've been single for so long, sometimes you're just like, maybe my body is just.
Yeah, telling you
Yeah,
yes!
like I'm trying to preserve the state that I've been in, but I've also realized that this also just means this is not the person that you're supposed to do anything with. And now at least I've started listening to it. So anytime I feel like this is not the thing to do, and especially if it's a very sharp feeling, because sometimes it can be like, this specific thing is not ideal, but sometimes you're like, just this person in general. Yeah, just it doesn't mean that the other person is a bad person. It just they are not the person for you, and your mind and your body are trying to tell you this is not the person for you. But sometimes you want what you want, especially if you're really infatuated with this person. So I've learned I didn't trust my intuition as much as I should have, and now I'm starting to trust it more.
And the second thing?
So you see, lessons, it's good for you.
Yes.
It helps.
Very painful lesson.
Very.
I can't just download a PDF.
I'm just like, damn, nigga, really? Shit.
Fuck.
Right? Anyway.
What was the second thing that you regret?
The second thing was a work thing. I don't really know how to say it in a... So basically, because what my work is, I do a lot of work, which is contract work. So it means like for a month at a time, I'm doing very heavy workloads. Then I basically chill for like 6 months. So I don't have to work every day. But now I also realize that just for financial stability, I needed to have had something that gets me money every month. Because essentially when you do this heavy workload and then you chill, you're basically using your savings, which is not ideal.
Saving.
Yeah, but now you see the problem with that is that you get to the point where you don't have savings and you're not getting work. Because it's like now,
That's like every day.
especially for guys who work in the arts now, it's really hard to get work because of the elections. Like the elections have stopped literally everything.
Yeah.
So you can't get work. And I really don't like asking people for help. And now it's a good thing because now it's taught me that asking people for help is not a bad thing. Because I was really asking for help and the duress like, but I need your help, but So yeah, like if I wish I had done that before. That's what I'm doing now, but I wish I had done that before, in hindsight.
Camry,
Yes.
if God or whatever supernatural entity you believe in or don't believe in, just the guy who has all the answers, if he came
Or
to
the
you
girl.
or the girl, if they came to you and asked, what is the one question that you want to know the answer to? What would it be?
I feel like we had this discussion.
We didn't have it on camera.
That's such a great question, but I don't have an answer. Do I know? What's the one?
Question that you would want, if someone who has all the answers came to you and asked you, you can ask any question.
Just one.
Just
It's
one.
going to be a 10-hour conversation.
Not because he has to get through the rest of the world.
Why do we have to work so hard? To be happy.
That's a
That's a
good
really
question.
good question.
Very good question.
Yeah.
Okay. Marie?
I would say, what do we have to work to live? Like, why can't we just sit down and food comes and bill are paid and rent?
Yeah.
Like, you have to work somehow, but that's your question. My question would be, why are we here? What's the goal of life? No, why are we here to suffer? Why? What? Wow. No, yeah, this question, everyone, why are we here? Even religious people, we're all trying to find the objective of life, because we're here like, why are we here? I don't know. Who knows?
For me, I just want to know what my future looks like. That's it.
Like specifically, like,
Also, I want to know
are
if
you
I go
going
to
be
heaven.
happy? No,
I really
pick
need
one.
to know that.
Just pick one of those. What your future looks like, or if
Or
your future
whether
is
you're
in
gonna
heaven.
be
Pick one.
like-
So here with the dossier.
Like, I'm like 10. Maybe. Yeah. I have no idea.
When you
What
say
does
what
future
your
look
future
like?
looks like, okay, so if you ask the question, what does my future look like, and then they say rosy, like, it doesn't. Do you want details, or do you just want like a general brush stroke?
Probably general. I don't think I want details.
So you won't ask, will I have a mansion?
No.
Okay, cool, got it.
If there was a question that I could ask God,
Or the person who has all the answers.
yes. Just why? Because to be fair, like life really doesn't seem to have a point. Like, just so many people are suffering. Even the people who are trying to do good things, it doesn't feel like it really makes a mark. So like, what's the point? It feels very sadistic. It's like whoever this person in charge of everything is just watching people suffer and they're like, eh. It's like some weird S&M thing. The problem with, like, if you ask God to intervene in all these evil things that are happening, that negates free will. So there's no way to properly fix it.
How does it negate free will?
Because if he stops people from doing the things that are considered evil, that means you don't really have
Have a
control
choice.
over your
Would you
actions.
care as long as you were happy? Or would you rather have a happy life or a free life?
I don't know. Okay, I really like order, so I just choose like a free life.
Okay.
I like when things happen when they're supposed to. So I am willing to sacrifice some freedoms for order, but that's just me. I wouldn't say a lot of people are like that.
So your question is why?
Just why? Why?
What do you,
Why? Like, life doesn't feel like there's a thing.
what do you think Sogi's question is?
Togi's question. Are you even real? Because when she opens her third eye.
Sogi, what's your question?
Kemet in the building! The eye of horrors. This Illuminati. Your mother did see this.
Me, my question, I guess. So, G. What's Bill Gates' ATM pin number? I was like, hey,
117 accounts.
Black
You know he has
sexual,
names.
and I was gonna be
Yes,
like, so you tell me the one that has like the most money, and then how are we gonna get this
Notice.
ATM card?
Okay, so this is a follow-up question. So would you actually take his money?
Does he know about it?
Of course.
Yeah, if he knows, I'll take his money. I mean,
No, does he know that you know his account?
no, whose money?
Bill Gates.
Does he know I'm taking his money?
Of course.
Shh, no, that I can't. That's stealing.
So you'd be like, listen, I have your account, can I use it?
Listen, I have your account empty. You better block it before I get that. No, I'm kidding. What?
So you're stealing, but you're asking for permission to steal.
Which technically isn't.
It's
Is that stealing?
stealing! It's still
If I asked you,
stealing.
I told you.
What do you usually tell people that you weren't going to do?
What do I usually tell people that I wasn't going to do?
Yeah. Like what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cook.
Yeah.
Get to the head.
I should have known. Yes. And then.
Sorry,
Just shafting them.
I don't think the audience got that.
I don't know.
She just said balls to this.
Okay, Tony, do you usually tell people that there are things that you're not going to do?
Do I usually tell people that there are things I'm not going to do? Yes. I really hold grudges well.
Jacaranda Troya in the house! Woo woo! Sorry.
So I really hold, and I they ferment and they manifest, and when I
Marinate,
come for you, my friends, the thunder that will strike you. So I'm a very tolerant person to a point. And when I see people are getting to that point, I tell them, like, if you go past here, like, whatever this is that we have, just forget it.
I tell people to be honest and upfront with me, because I'm like, I would rather the honesty than the CGP. Like, just keep it real with me. You don't want to see my ass? Tell me you don't want to see my ass.
Don't ghost me.
You don't want to, just tell me how you're feeling, because I also understand not everyone is the same as me.
You're not like preserving anybody's feelings by not telling them the truth. It doesn't work like that. In fact, it's you're insulting the intelligence by assuming they would not be able to
be handled. And then for me, that is the most disrespectful thing, and the one thing that I don't, that line for Rick Ross, God forgives, I don't. That's when I'm disrespected. That's it. When I'm disrespected, that's it. The story ends.
The international symbol for Togi's power.
Thank you for watching, guys. We really hope you enjoyed the show. Switch it up this time round. We are now the hosts, at least, for today.
We're not giving it back. Overthrow.
It's a coup. Hope you enjoyed. Be real. Keep it real. What do you have to say?
Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell the people who ghosted you, tell the people you're ghosting. Tell everybody.
Do we have to do this? Like and subscribe below.
Yes.
Wait, no, this is going to be on Facebook.
And you can turn
No,
on
this is gonna be.
Okay, like and subscribe below, and then go check us out on Facebook.
and turn on notifications so that you know when every episode is uploaded.
Yeah, what's that?
What she said.
Send nudes.
As always.
Hey!
As we don't mind bush, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, but listen. There's bush and there's forest. If you send have dreadlocks, if you can put stick hanging if it looks like you have still hanging creepers, if you smell like bride.
This is just a quick PS. Shout outs to Tatiana,
Hi,
George, Kimel.
Hi, Kimel.
Shout outs to JD and his wife,
Hi,
Kimberly.
Jenny and his wife. Hi, Kimberly.
Yeah, that's all.
Bye.
I did it properly this time. Peace.
You should have stopped this. You need to box more people.
I know!
Box more people in the mouth. Your mother would not be taking down your posters if she knew you were boxing people in the mouth. She's like, hey, my daughter might kick my ass.